Okay, here we go with the ingredients for the mushroom pate. So I have about 500 grams of cremini mushrooms. I also have 10 grams of dried porcini mushroom, and all I'm gonna do is put hot water on it, but only to barely cover it. So the least amount of water you have, which turns into broth at the end, that's what we want. The stronger it gets, the better it is. Okay? Then I think this is about 150 grams of shallots, give or take. Everything here is give or take, okay? And then a little bit of fresh thyme. This is about 2 grams of fresh thyme. It's from my friend's garden. Um, Half of the cream cheese, I think it's 4 ounces. A little bit of butter and olive oil for sauteing later. Salt, pepper, and cayenne. And then towards the end, we also gonna put some bourbon in there. Buffalo Trace is my favorite when it comes to cooking. It just gives an amazing flavor. Oh, also, I don't know if I just said it, but also some cayenne. Not sure how much of the bourbon I'm putting in there yet, but you will see when I make it. And I think that's it. If not, then, I'll let you know. So I just boiled some water. And here you go. There. That's plenty of water for the mushrooms. And they can just sit for at least 10-15 minutes, however long it's gonna take me to chop up my onions and scallions, my scallions and the mushrooms. So the longer it sits, the more flavor you're gonna get, and plus I have to still saute it. And next, I'm gonna preheat. Let's see, turn this on. There we go. Let the pan get hot. Also, the onions, the shallots, and the mushrooms, they don't have to be cut very even because I'm going to puree everything. It's gonna go in the food processor afterwards. So the only thing is we have to get a lot of the moisture out of the onion, the mushrooms, and obviously the shallots. So this usually goes really fast. This might be too high. There. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there. 1, 2, 3, about 4 tablespoons. And I also like butter, so maybe a tablespoon of butter, 2, who knows? This looks like 2. Let's just leave it at 2. Yeah. There we go. Okay. There. I'm gonna put the mushrooms in. This is a lot of mushrooms. This actually makes quite a bit, but it also shrinks a lot. But I plan on making different dishes out of this, or using it for different dishes, not just as an appetizer or a spread. Also, use very little salt in the beginning because I've learned from experience. These are like just 2 pinches. One of my friends, Ed, who also loves this, told me that mushrooms actually have either a high salt content or are a flavor enhancer, and that's why it always tastes kind of salty already. Something like that. So, in other words, don't put too much salt in it in the beginning. You can always add more at the end. Okay, now let's get these sauteing, and in about a couple of minutes, when they go down a little, I'm going to put the shallots in there as well. Okay, so now you can see most of the moisture is out of it. So I turned it down a little bit. And I just left all the thyme on the stalk, because a lot of them, the leaves just fall off, and then I pull them out right before I put them in the blender. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of cayenne to taste. You know, you want a little bit of spice in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in there. Okay, that's enough. Also, what I'm going to add now is that, see how dark it is? That's the broth. So I'm going to squeeze these out. Okay, I'm going to put them in this bowl here. I'm going to chop these up in a little bit. And then I'm going to slowly add the, there we go. Just do it slowly, because that's actually some dirt. You don't want that in there. There you go. Now mix this in a little bit. And after that sort of soaks in and evaporates a little, just the water evaporates, but the flavor stays in there, I'm going to use a little bit of the bourbon. So I'm going to let this go for another 2 or 3 minutes. So here are the porcinis. Just kind of give them a little rough chop. Like I said, it's all gonna go in a food processor, and these don't need that long because they're already super soft. So here we go. Put that in here. Stir it in. And see, they're already getting like a really nice color. Now, and I'm gonna, yes. I'm gonna put the bourbon in there. And I'm gonna hope nothing is gonna splatter. Otherwise, I'm gonna burn up the camera. Let's see. So I think I'm going to put in, I don't know, a shot. Let's see. 1 shot. 2. Okay. There we go. And now, okay, that was weird. The cork just popped out of the bottle. It's probably trying to tell me to put more in, but I'm not. There. So let it go for like 30 more seconds. And then I'm going to turn it off and let it cool off a little bit. Just a little. For like 5 minutes or so. There. Okay, I left it on for like another minute. Now I'm just going to put this in a bowl so it can cool off a little bit faster. There we go. This looks and smells really, really good. Okay, let it cool off. do this first there. A little bit more surface space. Okay. So I already put the mushrooms and everything in there. I took the, the little twigs out of it. Most of the leaves came off. If they don't, it's fine. The flavor is in there. So here's half of a block of the cream cheese. And now we are going to pulverize it. Okay, get on here. I need a new one, but I'm not getting one. There's a reason why I'm not getting one. Scrape it down. Let me get it. There we go. Oh, that already looks good. This is such a good pate, like for parties, even on sandwiches. Yep, on sandwiches. So a lot of people don't want to try duck pate or chicken or whatever. So try this one. You like it. Trust me. Okay, one more time. Come on. Nope, not getting a new one. I think this is plenty. Let me taste it. Okay. This can use a little bit more salt. What do I do with the salt? Let's just get this one. But it's already good. Has a little kick at the end. Okay, that's too slow. I like using kosher salt. Always. And the grains are so much bigger that sometimes the regular salt shakers, it just won't come through. Okay, over the shoulder for luck. If you don't know where to put the rest of the salt, throw it over your shoulder. Okay. Let's try this again. Yep. Oh yeah. That's it. Perfect. And like I said, you just let it cool off. You can put this on crackers for appetizers at parties, but I'm also gonna make a few other recipes. That's why I made a really big batch. You might just want to cut everything in half. Or I think you might even be able to like freeze it, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. It's never lasted that long that I want to freeze it. So, yep, I'm gonna make a new recipe in a few minutes and I will let you guys know how that one comes out. Actually, I'm going to use this in the recipe. So stay tuned for that one.